What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the Man City Liverpool post-match analysis and reaction video. And what an absolute mad game this was. This could have ended up in a 3-3 draw, or both teams could have won it 4-3. It was an absolute mayhem, and overall, in my opinion, Man City were the better team in the first half. Liverpool were actually lucky to only be 2-1 down at half-time. How did you see the game? Let me know in the comments below, and also leave a like if you are enjoying these videos, and subscribe to my channel if you are new around here. And in the second half, Liverpool improved massively, as evident by that quick goal that we scored through Sadio Mane. What a pass by Mohamed Salah. But Man City scored an offside goal, and Riyad Mahrez had that huge chance in the 93rd minute when Alisson came off his line a good 7 yards, and if Mahrez's chip is a little bit weaker, it doesn't go over the bar, and Man City win it 3-2. And on the balance of play, maybe you could argue Man City deserved to win this game, but I think Liverpool really played well in the second half and earned a very hard-fought draw. But I think the first half, Liverpool's tactics didn't work. Jota started putting pressure on Rodri at the beginning of the game, but then he didn't do it for the whole half. And when you leave the Man City midfielders like Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva to pick out the runners in behind against Liverpool's high line, that's a suicidal tactic. And even Virgil van Dijk singled that out after the game. Virgil van Dijk said, and I quote, Man City have runners in behind, but you need to put pressure on the midfielders. I think when there was no pressure on David Silva, Bernardo Silva, or another players, he was able to put the ball in behind. And in the second half, before the Raheem Sterling goal, it was absolutely suicidal that we let Kevin De Bruyne turn, look up, check the runs, and then he put a slide-through pass through for Raheem Sterling, and it was a very marginally offside. I loved it, by the way. It was absolutely beautiful that the whole Man City stadium celebrated for a good 2 minutes, and then they got VAR in their face once again to rule out that goal. It was beautiful scenes, but I think overall Liverpool were a little bit lucky to get away with such suicidal tactics, because Man City could have scored 3 or 4 goals. They were so many times running in behind our defense. They clearly targeted Trent Alexander-Arnold, and there were so many over-the-top through balls on Trent's side, because he's maybe a little bit weaker defensively than Andy Robertson, and he's also so many times higher up the pitch than any other defenders of Liverpool. And Man City started the game like a house on fire. Bernardo Silva picked out Kevin De Bruyne, who a little bit too easily skips past the Liverpool player. Maybe it was Thiago or Fabinho, I can't really remember. And then he unleashes a brilliant shot, which was going in the corner, but nothing that Alisson should have been too worried about. And then, of course, Joel Matip tries to block the shot, something that is well advised from the defenders. But it hits Joel Matip's leg and gets a wicked deflection. It starts curling outside and then comes back inside, hits the post, almost rolls on the goal line and goes in at the far post, at the other post. So it was a quite fortunate but deserved Man City goal, because Man City high-pressed Liverpool, and Liverpool were very caught out by this tactic or by the game, and I don't know why. It was a very weird, unusual vibe that I got from Liverpool players. It was like we weren't ready for this high-pressing, in-your-face tactics, but we always knew that this is how Man City wanted to play, and this is how Pep Guardiola wanted to play, because they wanted to put Liverpool under as much pressure as possible to win this game, because that could have potentially sealed the title race. We will talk about the title race a little bit later. So Liverpool were like a rabbit in headlights. They were caught by surprise by this Man City tactic, which is really weird, because Liverpool should have expected nothing else but this tactic, the in-your-face, really high pressing, and it didn't. Liverpool didn't like the taste of this Man City tactic, let me tell you. We looked afraid, and that's the first time that I've seen that from this Liverpool team, honestly, this season. In the first half, Man City got our number, but Liverpool are such a brilliant team that basically from our only chance in the first half, we scored an absolutely brilliant goal. I was already thinking about that Andy Robertson ball to the back post, which was absolutely fantastic. One fullback from the other to the other fullback, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who also doesn't shoot, he doesn't cross across goal. He cuts it back to the second wave of attackers, and there comes Diogo Jota, absolutely wide open, and he scores past Ederson. It was a goalkeeping error in my opinion. Ederson should have saved it, and also Alisson before has saved a one-on-one against Raheem Sterling, and a minute later Man City scored their opener. But I have to mention Alisson. He was again absolutely superhuman today. The amount of amazing chances that he saved today was absolutely brilliant, and overall, I mean, Man City had 11 shots, 5 on target. Liverpool had 6 shots, so almost half as many shots as Man City. But we had 4 shots on target, so if you just take a look at the clear chances, 5 shots against 4, you might argue the draw is a fair result. But Man City got close to the Liverpool goal more times than Liverpool got close to the Man City goal. And then Gabriel Jesus scored an absolutely brilliant goal. It was a Cancelo cross from a free kick. I'm not sure, I think it was a free kick. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, first he starts going with the runner, Gabriel Jesus, but then he realizes maybe I should hold my run, so it's offside. But then by that time it's too late because Cancelo already kicked the ball. So Trent Alexander-Arnold, for some weird reason, stops after running a couple of yards with Gabriel Jesus, and Gabriel Jesus just goes through and he shoots above Alisson off the underside of the crossbar, and then an absolutely brilliant finish by Gabriel Jesus. And that was his first goal after missing 57 shots, I think, or was it 37? He hasn't scored a goal since December against Chelsea, and then he scores again, but usually, to be fair to him, he doesn't even start most of the games. But Man City, as I said, were fully meriting the 2-1 lead. The second half, Liverpool came out, and they looked like a completely different team, and huge credit to Jurgen Klopp. I said at halftime, I was really hoping that Jurgen Klopp will sort out this tactical mess that Liverpool were in. And the second half was much better. If Liverpool started like they did in the first half, how they did in the second half, Liverpool, I'm convinced, would have won this game. And we could have even won it as badly as we played in the first half, because after Mane scored an absolutely fabulous finish into the top corner after a Salah slide-through pass, and look at Henderson's celebration after the Mane goal. He runs to Salah and he points to him like this, saying it's your goal as well. What a brilliant assist by Mo Salah, and Sadio Mane scores a magnificent goal. And they are at 2-2. Just a few minutes later, Diogo Jota also had a one-on-one where he shoots with the outside of his right foot, and Ederson saves it, and that could have been the chance for Liverpool to get into the lead. But then Raheem Sterling scored that offside goal. As I said, we left Kevin De Bruyne too wide open. He can pick the pass better than any midfielder in the Premier League, and Raheem Sterling goes through and scores between Alisson's legs, but it was thankfully marginally offside. And after that, after Luis Diaz came on, Liverpool were a little bit better, and actually Liverpool had more shots on target in the second half than Man City, something that is very surprising. But as I said, Mahrez still had that glorious chance at the end, which if he scores that, Liverpool lose the game 3-2. So overall, I think Liverpool can be happy with the point. And we have 7 games to go, and this will be a straight shootout. And if Man City win the last 7 games, then they win the title. Both teams ended up in 2-2 draws at Anfield and at the Etihad. So Liverpool have to now regroup and go through in the Champions League against Benfica. And then we play Man City again in the FA Cup semi-finals at Wembley. What a game that is going to be. I'm already looking forward to that as well. And after that, Liverpool play Man United, Everton, Newcastle, Tottenham. The way I see it, the title is still Man City's to lose. They are still the favourites, and also they have easier fixtures than Liverpool, because Liverpool play an informed Tottenham team. The Man United game, that's always a tricky game. Everton game as well. Newcastle away, that is going to be a tough game. Aston Villa away as well. So Liverpool have the harder games still. So the ball is in Man City's court at the moment. But Liverpool need to try and win as many games as possible between now and the end of the season, and just put as much pressure on Man City, because this Man City team is not unbeatable. In the last 10 games, they dropped like 7 points or 5 points or something like that, and Liverpool have won 10 in a row before this one. in the Premier League. So let's hope that Liverpool can still overtake Man City. I'm still hopeful the title race will go down to the wire, and I think this game was one of the best games that you will ever see in terms of the quality of football on show. It was absolutely brilliant, breathtaking stuff from both teams. I thought Fabinho didn't have a particularly good half in the first half, but in the second half he stepped up much better. Thiago also had a pretty awesome game as well. What I would have changed from a Liverpool point of view, but hindsight is of course a wonderful thing, I would have started with Bobby Firmino so he can press the Man City playmakers like Rodri or De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva, the players who will always trying these thread of the needle passes in behind the Liverpool backline, the high backline as well, and maybe play Jota on the left and Salah on the right. But I think Jurgen Klopp tweaked the tactical things in the second half, and Liverpool were much better after that. All in all, it's a very good draw for Liverpool, and bring on the rest of the season. I'm really looking forward to it. This was a fantastic, thoroughly enjoyable but breathtaking and nerve-wracking game as well. I hope you guys enjoyed my post-match reaction as well. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Bye.